live.
We're live. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Nerdy Up North podcast. It's a nerdy podcast, and it's hosted by Northern Nerds. I am one of your hosts, Sam.
Sorry, I was waiting for Kelly to say that she's the host because I'm no longer the host now. I'm still quitted and retired.
Go on, Kelly, say it.
I am the host. Bow down to me, my cult.
Cult Master Kelly. But that's it. I have been praising Kelly today. So in our little group chats, I said she is the embodiment of everything that Nerdy Up North should be. That's all I would say. Well, to be honest, the only one that hasn't given me a fucking headache in the last month or so. So, Kelly, I love you.
Yay! Achievements.
But yes, we are back after a 2-week hiatus. Did you miss us? What did you just do on a Sunday night? Did you just talk to your family? Did you have fun?
Communicate with people that you live with.
Did you create a Ouija board and talk to the dead?
Why are you telling them the secrets of what we did?
To be fair, all I did was sleep, and I get a message of Sam saying, "I'm sad we haven't got a podcast tonight." And I was like, I'm not missing this. It's fine.
No, so I tormented him all night instead.
Yes.
Well, that's what he gets. Pause the podcast. I'll torment you by WhatsApp.
To be fair, though, I was like, let's have 2 weeks off. Then this whole thing with the Game of Thrones stuff. So last Sunday we went, we'll record a few videos. Started around 1 o'clock. I got around about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I was like, Sammy, I'm fucking off now. Can you just leave us alone, please?
We had so much fun though. Just sitting, like, it's so nerve-wracking, Kelly. So, like, I know we do this every week, and it's fine. It's what it is. But try and do something on the spot by going, "Hi, I'm Sam." It's so fucking hard. Me and Paul had to write scripts out to make sure we were on point.
Because we had a time limit, because every video to work on Instagram or on YouTube Shorts or on TikTok kind of work to a certain time level. So we try to keep everything with under 60 seconds. So to make a 60-second clip of selling an item, try and be a bit funny and try and make it interesting rather than just, look at this. Hi, which a lot of floating heads did. If you check TikTok, there's a lot of floating heads doing that. But we had a bit of fun. I think the one I put up today, or would have been when this is recorded on Tuesday, was me talking about fitting 17 Chris's in the Mountain's armour. So yes.
It was
like clowns in a little car.
Yeah. It was the fact that we found this creepy doll, and Paul was instantly like, "Right, I'm recording," and it was the fucking doll that he did. Like, this doll looked like it would come, like, literally eat your soul.
Yes.
Heritage really liked that video, by the way.
It's fine. But yes, like if you haven't already, check out the Heritage auction.
Yep, check it out. Loads and loads of Game of Thrones props and a lot of swords.
Hopefully, if this is going out on Sunday, me and Jake might have returned. So yes, we'll have tips and talks of our travels if we get there. We shall see. Yeah. But yes.
Yeah, I will interview them in my professionalism style.
She's got a style, guys. We're all in trouble now.
Oh God!
Do you want to do your lovely disclaimer there, Sammy?
Oh gosh, yeah. So everything discussed in today's episode is our opinions and our opinions alone. If you'd like to discuss anything from today's episode, please come and join us on the Facebook page. Come join us in the Discord or the comments section where we can have an open discussion. But what we won't have is anyone coming for us and telling us our opinions are wrong, because we can all agree to disagree in fandom. So let's keep it fun, keep it kind, and keep the toxic behaviour out of nerdism.
Hell yeah!
So I'll steal Dan's line. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. It's so simple. I said this to the girls on Women of Nerd Culture. If you ever struggle on what you want to say about any form of disclaimer, just say it. Don't be a dick. It's as simple as.
And a lot of people need to take that message on board. Don't be a fucking dick. Yes.
Anyways, what we're here for?
Red rum.
Yeah.
Question.
His fucking finger.
So I know the answer to Sammy's, but I'll ask Kelly because she is the bookworm. Did you watch the movie or read the book first?
Watch the film first. The reason behind me watching the film is because of Twister.
Right.
Okay, that's a connection. Oh, God, yeah. There is a connection.
So I remember watching that in the cinema when it came out and seeing, like the creepy twins, and then obviously how they coincided Jack Nicholson with the axe, with the twisty, it was amazing, and the screens coming off a class, absolute class, and I was just like, what is that film? And I found out it was The Shining, so I watched it. Too sweet. So I did actually watch the film before I read the book. I read the book in my university years, so about 15 years ago.
But you only look 21, Kelly. How is that possible?
Well, I live in Tupperware.
Foreverwhere.
Oh, showing out age now with that comment as well, so yes.
I know, Avery Indiana, man, love that. But but I've reread it for the for this occasion. And so it's all fresh in the brain.
Okay.
So Sammy actually finished the book. When did you finish the book, Sammy?
2 hours ago. Literally 2 hours ago. I started 2 weeks ago, and I finished 2 hours ago. I was determined, determined. I messaged Paul when I was like a couple of chapters off, and I was like, I am going to do this. I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. I can see, because I've always wondered why everyone got so hell bent on the movie to the book, and I was like, and I understand to a degree, but I also I think I understand Stanley Kubrick a little bit better now as well, and Stephen King separately.
Yeah,
I can kind of separate these two. If that makes sense, am I making sense or am I talking shit?
No,
you're making sense.
Yeah, there is. It's always interesting because a lot of people always say, "Oh, they can't do this, they can't remake that," but in essence, it's just telling the story. It's just depends how you tell the story. The simple facts can stay the same, but you can embellish, you can change. Again, it's all about the fun of the author. I know there's been a lot of hell on recently about the Crow remake. They said you should never remake the Crow. And don't get us wrong, the Crow movie is a classic, and there's a lot of history and story behind it. But there should never be a caveat and say a movie should never be remade. If someone wants to tell that story a different way, who are we as people to stand there and say you cannot do that?
I 100% agree. Little Shop of Horrors is another one. Everyone was booting off a few years ago when they said, "Oh, well, they're redoing Little Shop of Horrors." They're not. You can't redo Little Shop of Horrors. Little Shop of Horrors is a stage show. It initially started as a stage show that got adapted into a movie. So whatever comes out afterwards, just like Rocky Horror, it's just an adaptation. With a different cast like you would see on stage.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, with the Little Shop of Horrors, it's actually a remake of a movie that was made years ago as well. There's actually an original.
That's right. That's right. Because I've seen that one as well.
Plagiarizing bastards.
It's one of those things. It's just people they get such a vision on what it is they've read or what it is they've seen, and they're like, "Oh, I would love my vision to look like this." I mean, we've all thought about it. We all do it when we talk about movies. I would like to see it done this way.
I remember getting so angry years ago when they had done an adaptation of my favourite book, Yes Man. Like say it's a British comedian, Danny Wallace, basically doing British things, and they made it like a Jim Carrey Americanized, just bastardized version.
I didn't realise that was that.
Yeah, so and again, it took me a long time to get over that because it did hurt. But again, it's about realizing that you can. For me, the book is always special, but for someone else, the movie's going to be special. And I think The Shining is one of those ones where it's like, to use the pun, it's an axe down the middle, where the fans either say, "Oh, the book's better," or "the movie's better." There's no one actually sits in the middle and saying, "Well, that takes them points." And I think it's quite interesting because the book and the movie, and again, I might be wrong because it's been a long time since I've read the book. There's a lot of similarities, but when they change things, they are big changes.
There is, but there's a lot of words that are taken out. So the whole elevator with the blood, for example, doesn't happen.
No.
But it is said quite a few times. It focuses on the fact of draining blood. Wendy says it quite a few times when she's describing her own wounds. It's like and I just feel like he's taken words out of it and thought, gosh, I could use this and embellish on this side of it. That's how I took it, especially like I'm literally fresh out off of reading it. And there is some things that just cannot or would not physically work, especially how Kubrick was filming things. He did everything on a Steadicam. So the maze isn't in the book.
No.
But the hedge animals are.
Yeah.
And the hedge animals are what attack Danny, that what, freak the Jack out, which then attack, I keep calling them Scatman Crothers. It's not, it's the Hallorann, but I just can't not call them Scatman Crothers. So it would be very difficult for Kubrick to make something that's so real. Like, he has made such a real looking horror film. There's nothing fantasy about it. So to then go and do something so far out of what he's just put on screen, it just wouldn't work. It wouldn't translate. But the maze, it's simple, it's beautiful, and it still kind of gets the point across.
But I think that's where a lot of people have fallings with Stephen King's works. When they try and transition it from book to movie, they try and keep it so faithful to the book that it's never going to work, because Stephen King's fantasy world of Derry, or his land, or his stories, it's so convoluted, it's so detailed, and to do it as a movie, you're just going to be, if you did it that way, people will say, well, you've just basically done a Stephen King version. You've not done, there's nothing you in that. That's where, like, again, I think we've had a conversation about the podcast before. His short stories for Stephen King normally transition better on screen. Like if you think about Stand By Me, The Green Mile, Shawshank and stuff like that, where like movies on the sides of like The Shining, people always like either love or hate it. What was the other one? It's like, say, because it in two parts. First part everyone loves, second part everyone hates, and it goes for both movies as well. So it's always interesting. But I know, again, talking about this one, this is 1980. This film came out.
Yep.
I watched it today in 4K, and it stands up so well, like picture-wise, like, because a lot of 1980s films, it looks grainy, it looks gravelly. This upscales so perfectly and lovely to view. But I remember when I watched this for the first time, I didn't, like me being young and stupid, I didn't think that they realised this was a movie. Because the way Channel 4 used to put it out, because Channel 4 used to put edgy films or like horror films on mostly, this was always a two-parter. It was always cut in half. So the first part was always on a Saturday night, and then the second part was on a Sunday night. And
what a kick in the tits on a film that isn't that really long.
It's
actually quite long.
2.5 hours. So that's probably why 2.5 hours. So that's why they cut. I believe, and again, this is just going back to my memory, I think the cutting off point was the lady coming out of the bath. That was where the cut.
This is Massey, yeah.
Yeah. So
she can get in the fucking bin.
Yeah.
Get in the sea.
So
I had to put. She was a fucking nightmare.
You'd have to do a friends and put the book in the fridge just to
it
like in the freezer.
So fucking close. There was one night, because I'm staying at my mum's, and her lighting situation isn't the greatest to start with, and it's quite dingy. Like there's certain parts of the room that are really dark, and I'm like, maybe we should just put this down for a bit and just leave it. I was just picked up. You mentioned like Stephen, like Green Mile being a short story. I've just purchased it recently. That's a short story for Stephen King.
Yes.
But that's it.
Yeah.
Look at that. How many times can you fit that into there? That's ridiculous. Sorry, I picked them up when you were talking, and I was like, that's a short story.
I might have got Green Mile down as a wrong one. Not Adapt Pupil.
No.
Sorry, no, you're right. Adapt Pupil. That's the one I was mentioning. That was a short
Pupil. Yes,
that was a short story. That was in different seasons or something, wasn't it?
But the Green Mile is actually a really short Stephen. I mean, I've read The Stand.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, God. But no, the Green Mile initially didn't start as a book. It started, he used to write as in a newspaper, and he did them as a chapter a week, and because that, you know, he got more money for it. So maybe you could class it as a short story if you're going to put it in the context of your newspaper, but sorry, I just put me here.
Like, I just put my books on my shelf.
I did get Pet Cemetery though.
No.
Nice, good lass. Oh God, I read that when I was 12.
Kelly, it's been an absolute trauma trying to get a hold of that book.
Really?
I dragged Paul into town for it. Couldn't find it. Ended up getting it on Vinted because I refused to pay 13 quid for a book. I knew that was £8.
Yeah.
Oh Christ.
So
anyways, The Shining.
No, it's all the same thing. But yeah, watching it again today, and it's one of them films where I've watched in the past. This isn't my favourite, like, Stephen King. I appreciate it more today just because I probably concentrated on more. Because, as you said, as Kelly said, it is a long movie. It's very long-winded. There's a slow build for certain aspects, but there's other aspects that kind of threw me when I've watched it again today. It's like things aren't really explained well. Because if you watch this, then if you watch Doctor Sleep back to back, the explanation in Doctor Sleep, I think because they have to, like, they explain The Shining so much better in that movie than they do in this. It's kind of like Danny's kind of going through things, and with anything that happened in like the late 70s, early 80s, it was like, oh, mental health's not a thing. It's just kids being kids. They'll grow out of it, or they'll stop talking to an imaginary friend. That was kind of like the impression. But what was interesting for me is the Jack Torrance character, that his, like, what they say is the descent to madness. There was no descent. As soon as he went in for the fucking job interview, he was fucking touched from that point. There was no.
He came in and unhinged. He was just unhinged all the way through.
Because my impression of the movie when I was younger, it was like watching like The Simpsons are parodied, everything. You see him going crazy through time, and you think that's what I was expecting watching it again, thinking, oh, I'm going to enjoy Jack Nicholson's performance into going from normal happy-go-lucky Jack to going crazy Jack. No, when I realised, I was like, no, he was fucking nuts from the start, which kind of threw us. And you were expecting him to go crazy and go crazier and go crazier. And I think they tried to use the alcoholism as an excuse in, oh, he did this. And fucking his wife, like, just saying, oh, paper and cracks over child abuse and domestic abuse. It's fine, he hasn't had a drink since. Fuck off.
No, fuck off, because he even lies as well.
He actually contradicts himself. He says that he's been 3 years sober, and when he's in the bar, he actually says to 5 months sobriety. So he lies. He hadn't been sober the entire time. The Jack Torrance that I met in the book was quite sympathetic. Incredibly sympathetic. You could tell he tried so hard with his sobriety, like to the point where when he thought of alcohol or thought of the need for a drink, he would constantly dab his lips, and to the point where they were cracked to pieces because that's how much the addiction. Like, he had a disease, and he was trying his hardest for his family to overcome that. But the Overlook, and I love the fact that in the book, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about the book, and I can't help it. I'm so sorry. But I love the fact in the book, the Overlook is a character.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every wall, every feature, every ghost, everything that's in there is part of like this amazing infrastructure that the minute they want Danny. It's as simple as that. They want Danny because, Danny's got the shine. But he's got a very powerful shine. So you know how Dick works there, and they've not really focused on Dick. Yeah. His shine doesn't shine as shinier than what Danny's does. And it's
shiny,
power.
shiny.
But that's if you watch Doctor Sleep, that is
better from kids.
so
amazing.
So much better. But then Jack said, so yeah, the hotel wants Danny, and there's a point in the book where he's standing. It's where he's got the snowplow because Wendy's had enough. Like Wendy believes Danny 100%. She knows that Tony is something other than an imaginary friend. She knows everything that her child has said is the truth. Wendy is so much stronger in the book than she is portrayed in the movie. But Jack, and then she talks Jack into leaving, and he goes to the snowplow to go and sort it out for them to leave. He knows Danny is telling the truth. He knows Wendy is right. He knows that if a gin was put in front of him right now, he would take it in a heartbeat. The only problem with Jack is he's so addicted to the addiction, he doesn't want to leave.
No.
He doesn't want to go. He wants to stay there, and that's why he destroys the snowplow. But Danny knows that.
Yeah.
So I'm liking the book more now that I'm getting a chance to talk about it. So I thank you.
No, the book is tremendous. The book is absolutely. Stephen King, fucking hats off to him. He's good at what he does, albeit sometimes when it all kind of gets chalked to an Indian burial ground, fucking Indian burial grounds. That's what happened there.
It's these descriptions of things, man. He's talking about when Dick was getting into a taxi, he talked about this fucking seatbelts, and it's like, is that necessary? Did I need to know about the fucking seatbelts?
But you know what? There's one bit of detail where he really picks up on. Was it this guy lends him some gloves? Because he's not kitted out. Yeah, the mittens. Yeah, he's not kitted out. Because the thing is, in the film, you think, why does this random man who doesn't seem to have much of a connection with Danny anyway go on a holy mission to see him? Whereas in the book, it makes more sense why he does, because they have a bit more of a more in-depth conversation, etc. But it's just it's highlighted how treacherous going up there actually is. And this guy, he gets these mittens out and he's like, oh, if you can return them to us, the addresses.
Well, he's not getting them back.
And do you know what? I got a little bit choked.
He was
when I was like, oh no, the mittens won't be. There was just that little bit of oh, I've lost the mittens. Oh, I won't be able to send them back. And I'm like, oh God, that's what I would think.
He used them for a Molotov cocktail, he just set the fucking,
just set the lion on fire. Them mittens. There's a reason why them mittens were so important, to him describing them, because it's what he used to set the lion on fire.
It was just oh, but it was his oh, I won't be sending those back, and I'm like, oh no, you won't.
No, you won't. No, you won't.
They're gone.
But you're alive.
Right. That's so right. Because in the movie, they don't explain Danny and Dick's relationship. That is deep. No. It is so deep. They converse with each other quite quickly after Dick leaves, and it starts to get a little bit lost because obviously the hotel is kind of getting mixed amongst Danny's. And then when Danny releases everything, and that's when he starts screaming, you need to get here. I need you here now. And that's when it hits Dick like a bolt of fucking lightning that he has to go. The urgency of having to go was it never explained.
No, but if we can take it back to the start, because I know we were jumping in. Because as you said, when we get say the movie, it's a bustling hotel. He's been asked to kind of caretaker of during the winter months because, as they explained it, the weather's too treacherous to get up for 5 months for the year. So I don't know how many luxurious hotels can close down for 5 months for the year and still.
So we're just going to dump a family in there to fucking. So it's really bad weather, guys. But
Yeah. So to me, in my perception, and again with not reading the book side of it for a while, do they know what goes on in the hotel during these months? So this is why they don't have people in and close it down, because they don't want to have any more catastrophes. So it's almost like a human sacrifice to the hotel in a way.
Massively. They know exactly what's going on, because Jack's gonna write it. He starts finding all this stuff about the hotel. He pieces it all together. This is why he gets so involved in it, and he wants to write a book exposing the Overlook. And he goes to one of the managers, and it's like, oh, it goes tits up basically. And this is the starting point of how Danny convinces Jack that he does really have this ability, because Danny reiterates his whole conversation back to him verbatim, and he's like, "How the fuck did you know that?" And I think they definitely did know that that basically they were sacrificing these people to the hotel. And there's a few things I don't know if you've noticed on your rewatch. And it's not done by clumsiness, and it's not done by really shit. What's the word I'm looking for? Where everything goes in line, like kind of continuity.
Yeah.
Things get moved about in scene to scene. Certain parts where Jack's walking down you find him walking down the corridor, and it may move the camera that way, and when it moves it back that way, whatever was there before is now gone.
Right.
When Dick Hallorann shows Wendy the freezer, now the freezer first, he walks into the freezer, and in the freezer you've got a window and you've got a table. When he shuts the freezer door, they're gone.
Right.
Oh.
And then he moves on. There's another door next to the freezer.
Was that not just Kubrick trying to make you feel uncomfortable? Because he was a master for that. That's the thing.
Yes, it was making you. That was his way of saying the hotel is not as it seems. Like that was how he was trying to portray it to people. Was like moving stuff about and because there's also 2 freezer doors as well. So there's one where Wendy shoves Jack into.
Yes.
There's and another one because obviously we know that the ghost lets him out, but there's people who would theorize that he actually used the other door in the end to get out. But, you have no idea how many people have broke this fucking film down to like its bones.
But that's the thing. That's why I was worried about. Like I was excited to talk about this movie, but I didn't want to go into it too depth, because if you go online or if you go like every video about The Shine, people pick it apart to the to almost like this nuts and bolts. To like it's been
massively.
And again, I can understand why. There's so many different things. The things I love about this movie, and again, it might sound weird, is this is a 2.5-hour movie with such a small cast, and it's so intense that the characters that are in there you are so engrossed with. Like every one of them characters, like I know at the start you get a few like the hotel, but again they soon disappear. Like the main majority of this movie, you've got 3 people in this film. You've got Jack, you've got Wendy, and you've got Danny. Them are the 3 things. Danny goes on a whole weird trip, like when he like for a kid actor, he wasn't annoying, which I'll always give his due. His little Tommy voice was hilarious at times as well, with his little finger.
Red rum.
Like say, I know we've recently lost Shelley Duvall, and
so sad.
And again, rewatching her performance, it's a very mixed performance. Again, I'm not going to slate her. There's bits where, like, you think she's amazing at what she's doing, but then when she goes in full meltdown mode, when she's running along the thing, it's like, and that sounds really bad. I was getting flashbacks of Popeye with olive oil running up and down. I was like, I was like,
bless.
And again, it's not a bad thing, but it.
No.
She doesn't do.
I understand that.
She doesn't do. She doesn't do manic well. I think
she does. I think she does, and she can't strip it back. So this, you'll know. Everyone will know if you know Shelley Duvall and her story of The Shine, and you know that she didn't have the greatest experience on this movie. Kubrick had. Is it Kubrick or Kubrick? Am I saying it right?
I think it's
Kubrick. Sorry.
That's fine.
We'll call him Stan. I'll call him Stan.
Call him Belen, because he was.
He was, because what he did. She has gone on record before she passed away and said that she learned a lot of life lessons. It may not have been the greatest life lessons, but she learned life lessons through this movie. He is very famous for retakes. He actually holds the Guinness World Book of Records for the most retakes on one shot, and it is Scatman Crothers and little poor Danny Torrance, the little kid who played him, 147 times, and Scatman Crothers burst into tears. He was absolutely drained. He made him cry. He made Shelley Duvall cry. But you know who he didn't make cry? The kid.
Danny. Yeah.
He loved him. He absolutely loved him. He coached him. He took care of him. He handpicked him.
He didn't know it was a horror film either, did he?
No, and they made sure
he
never knew it was a horror film. They protected him so much during this movie. yet that's not what people kind of focus on. Like, I know we shouldn't not discredit like what happened to Shelley Duvall, because it's horrifying. Like, it's not nice to read about it, but he was so sweet to this little kid, and it's such a different contrast. But yeah, he was a dick with Scatman Crothers as well. He didn't like that at all.
When I re-watched The Shining, because the thing is, like I said, Shining, I would have said one of my favourite films. Me and Adam, in our 14 years, went to Screen Age Kicks, where we all got dressed up.
Class.
And watched it, and it was getting acted around us and stuff, and it was absolutely amazing. And we were watching it. Yes, first of all, very shocked that it was 2.5 hours long. I was just like, will I even see the end of this fucking film?
I genuinely thought it was a short film. I was like, in my head, replaying it back.
Because when you think about it, not very much happens. It's very long shots. Like, if you think about it, it's either got a 2-minute scene of Jack Nicholson sitting at a typewriter, a 30-second scene where he's throwing a tennis ball against the wall. It's got a lot of long shots up along and down the halls. That's where the time kind of eats up. The actual interaction in the story, nothing really flows along quickly.
No, I said that about the book as well, and I says to Ant, I'm right near the end, and I was like, oh God, nothing's really happened, and he was like, but everything's happened.
Yeah.
Everything has happened because whatever is being described to you now is going to play out in these next few chapters. And I was like, oh shit, now I have to remember everything that's just happened in that last few bits. How is Jack feeling? How is his mind? What is he going to break soon?
Yeah, but I just remember when rewatching it, was Shelley Duvall, who I love. Oh my God, was it just me, or was she as thick as pig shit?
Yeah.
Throughout the film, and the relationship between her and Jack, and I'm just like, if he didn't murder her in the hotel, he was just going to murder her in his own home, because he was that unhinged. And she was just like, oh yes, I do want to take Danny to the hospital. And he was just like, you want to take Danny to the hospital? And it's just like, oh my God, do you see what he's doing to you? He wants you to fall into this trap. And it made me feel very uncomfortable to see this total abuse of power on Jack Nicholson's side to Shelley Duvall, which I think was just it was, the scales were just totally, kind of
off kilter type thing.
Really off kilter, not even
because in the book, Wendy's got something about her.
When she
takes no shit.
Yeah. No, she really doesn't. There's a bit in the book where the lift is a fucking nightmare for them, and the lift literally comes alive one night, and all three of them go, and they're all sitting pissing around. The lift door opens, but there's a little bit of a gap. Where you could literally climb up it, and they're all pissing around going, well, I'm not doing it, well, I'm not. She just goes, for fuck's sake, and she just gets up and climbs up, and Jack's going, nothing's wrong, it's a malfunction, the lift's fine. And then she starts chucking party streamers at him and goes, do you think that's fucking fine? do you think that's okay?
There was a few things in the movie that threw us, where, as you said, with the Shelley Duvall's Wendy, when Grady's in the bathroom talking to Jack about thing, and Jack's like, oh, you've done this to your family, and he's like, I have no recall of this. And then they kind of move off that, and you find that their relationship's a bit weird. Then they go back to the fridge, and he's having that conversation, and he's like, Jack's like, give us one more chance. And he's like, but your wife is proving to be more stronger than we thought. It's like, she's not showing any strength in this movie at all. And I know it sounds bad saying that, because you want a really strong woman. There's two elements to this that really, really irritate us. There was one where Danny showed the strangle marks, and she's really upset, and Jack's acting really weird, and he's like, you did this, you're a son of a bitch, you stay away from us. And you think, right, she's taking him, she's gone, because he would. And just because Danny said the woman did it, and she comes back with a baseball bat and finds Jack and goes, hi Jack, I know it wasn't you,
it was a woman.
It was a woman, we need to get it. And he's like, fucking bitch, going off. And but that just changed flip, because you wouldn't because it's like, Kelly, you're a mother, your bairn's been attacked, and your first instance is to protect the bairn. So either the father's done it or some weird woman in the hotel's done it. You would be getting the fuck out of that hotel with your kid. And you wouldn't be taking them because, again, it's a safety risk because you don't know who did it. Again, me personally, that would be the intelligent choice to do. I wouldn't be going back saying, Danny's told us there's a woman upstairs in the scary room that no one's allowed to go in.
So now we have to believe him.
Yeah.
It's sorry to harp back to the book, but that scene does actually take place in the book where it plays out exactly the same, but there is an element of Jack hit Danny. That's the big thing. Jack broke Danny's arm.
Dislocated, I think, in the film, wasn't it?
Yeah. In the book, he broke Danny's arm, and she has never forgiven him for it.
Never.
She always has one eye open when it comes to Jack and Danny's relationship. So when that happens and he has the marks around his neck, the first thing she does is goes, "What have you done, you son of a bitch? You've hurt him." And he literally has to get on his hands and knees and say, "You need to listen to reason. I haven't been next to him. Like, Danny, you've got it." And Danny's like in such a catastrophic state, he can't speak. It does take a while for her to come round to where Jack has to convince her. Like, there's a convincing. He doesn't just like being unhinged about it or weird about it. He genuinely has to convince her. Like, I have not. The fuck was that?
It was before, and sorry. I apologise. I was clicking on the Shining thing and some scary sound come up, sorry.
God, it sounded like a little girl.
It was one of the Grady twins, sorry. Come and play with us, Sammy. Come and play with us forever.
And ever and ever. I love when Space do the callback to that with the two girls. It's Bubba Job week. Love it. Fuck it. That just scared the absolute shit out.
No, but you're right in what you're saying, because in the movie it's basically like Jack Nicholson's doing his impression of one flew over the cuckoo's nest. He's sitting there just like playing with his hair.
But
like,
even worse though, like he's not even playing he's playing the Danny DeVito part from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. He's not even playing his part. He's just you are correct though. Like, I'm going back over it in my head, and from the instant he walks in that hotel, it literally has him. How weak-willed are you that you walk into a door and that is literally got a hold of you? Because the progression in the book, it takes fucking ages, and he actually manages at the end to come out of it. To say sorry to Danny. He manages to become Jack for just a second before the hotel takes him back again.
Yeah.
Because in the book, they're there for a few months, aren't they? Well, like,
for a good few months.
And in the film, it's days.
I think in the movie, it goes 2 or 3 months later at the very start. It's like blink if you miss it, then everything else is over. Like a certain point. But it would have been nice to see that transition to madness rather than just going, okay, I'm in the hotel now. I'm sitting at the typewriter. Don't fucking talk to me. I don't want a fucking sandwich. Fuck off. And it's like,
oh yeah, that was another thing. The typewriter.
Yeah.
Did anyone else notice the change color?
Right. No, I didn't.
It went from white to grey.
Right.
It literally got, but it's like a really dark grey. The white one is Stan's typewriter.
You're not saying it wrong. Didn't overthink. You're fine.
And the grey one is to show Jack's more descent into madness, that now the furniture is starting to join him. Also, did anyone notice the television that Danny's watching doesn't have a plug?
I did notice it was positioned in the most weirdest place. It's like
in the perfect place.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have a plug.
No, but it's.
Oh my god!
I think with this movie as well, because I know, as we've said, it's a long movie. There's a lot of things that happens but doesn't happen. But visually, visually, like everything, like it's one of those ones where, if you're like a movie buff or just like a cinemaphile, or I think that's what they call it. Is that the correct term? Where you if you're like,
is that what we are?
I don't know. We're just twats, but yeah. But like
not wrong.
The actual visual sides, like everything that's put out there, as you said, is done for purpose. But is just astounding visually, and it's like either there to upset you or make you feel uncomfortable, or even to get you excited at the same times as well. Like everything is just there to like kind of tingle your senses, and the soundtrack in the background is just it's like it's like a heartbeat of the movie. It's like it knows when it slows you down so you can get comfortable. It speeds you up, and it get even like a few false starts. It's done so well and magically. That's where I think Kubrick is a masterful. And it was like this with Clockwork Orange, where he painted the visuals and the music, so you kind of went along and got you kind of amped up. Like, and I'm not the biggest fan of Clockwork Orange. A lot of people love it or hate it, but I'm not a big fan. But I can appreciate like the artistry perfect behind it, and the artistry here was just like. I don't think The Shining gets the credit it deserves for that.
Not
for
in
that
that respect.
No.
I think they really do. I think they really do go. Well, King doesn't like it, then we don't like it, kind of thing. But the opening scene, the that is used in Clockwork Orange. Also, the scenery is used in Blade Runner, and it's another film. It got used in Blade Runner. Jordan Peele took inspiration from it for Get Out at the beginning of Get Out. It's been used, but the footage itself is actually in Blade Runner.
Right, okay.
Where it's going over the Colorado hills.
Yeah.
It's one of the alternative endings.
Right.
It was given to Ridley Scott as a present. And he was like, oh, hey, I'll use this. The music is it's eerie, and it does really set the stage. Is it weird that that's all I could hear while reading it was the
Now, I'm going to ask a controversial question. If Jack Nicholson wasn't Jack Torrance, well, I don't think it was Jack Torrance, it was just Jack Nicholson, to be honest.
That was Jack Nicholson, yeah.
Would this movie be played out any differently if it was cast with anyone else? Because I know Jack does crazy well, but I think that's where it probably lost us, because the build up to crazy, like as soon as I see Jack Nicholson's face, he's intense, he's on the edge anyway. I would have preferred if they used an actor or someone else who kind of was a bit playing a little bit normal, and seeing him go into that descent of madness.
Do you want to know who the original actor was?
Who?
John Voight.
Right, okay, interesting. Still crazy, still nuts. So
but he could have done transitions so well. So I like the fact that you brought that up, because he was the only. Jack Nicholson was the only one besides John Voight. And I really think he could do progression to madness, and it's not madness. It's allowing addiction to completely take over. Show that you've been fighting addiction for all this time, to when you're like, oh fuck it, I give in. Like I give in. I'm done. And the madness kind of comes along with it.
Yeah, because if you look back, I know people will laugh at me suggesting this, but if you look back at Nicolas Cage, and I always mention Nick Cage, but if you look back at his movie Leaving Las Vegas, it's heartbreaking. It's just brutal of, like, as you said, addiction. But having someone like that, I know back then we wouldn't have Nicolas Cage doing it, but having someone who you think is normal because when Jack goes in full Jack Nicholson mode and he's chasing Wendy down, and you see him with the axe and the limp, it's absolutely breathtaking. It's iconic. It's I'd say Here's Johnny is one of the most iconic scenes and overused scenes, and one of the most iconic. It's one of the things I didn't want to use it in the graphic we've got in front of us, because it's that overused, and I think it would have been a distraction from the other stuff that we're doing. But having someone else do that, again, to me, not to shit on it, I think it would be more interesting.
It would, because you don't just have to, like you said, you don't have the unhingedness straight away. It's like there has to be a progression build up to it, and Jack Nicholson is an intense person from like everything that he does. The Here's Johnny line is completely ad-libbed, to where Kubrick didn't know what it meant, because he's not from America, and he didn't realize it was Johnny Carson, and he was like, oh wow, that's fun. And then he then I had to show them on the telly what it was. You want to know one thing that's burning in my brain that I need to get out?
Right.
Do it.
How people think that this movie is an unfinished movie.
Right.
That it didn't get it.
Well,
There's
2.5 hours isn't unfinished.
unfinished. Hey, we know the Lord of the Rings, how long that went for. So do you know? But yeah, they say there's an argument out there that it's an unfinished movie. That there's so much more Kubrick wanted to put into it. There's so much more out there. According to Tom Cruise, when he was doing Vanilla Sky, he was still editing this movie.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
He was still going in and doing edits to The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck does that say about the man and about the film? Like, what has it done to him?
I think as well, because the story's so rich and so interesting, you could get lost in it so much as well. Because it's hard to tell a simple story of because it is a simple ghost story, but done that's in an essence, but done with such like rich characters, like the characters in this. Even if you read the books or if you think, you can't help but enjoy the characters. Like Dick Hallorann's character is lovely, is caring. You want nothing but good for these people as well. And again, when you see little things, you want to know about the Grady twins or the Grady family. Like doing a prequel to that would be again people go, oh, you can't. I want to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing how they got turned to how he decided that he was going to chop up.
Yeah.
And again, what we are getting now and what a lot of things are coming out on is like streaming like TV shows. Like the Shining TV show would be perfect. Like
there is one.
Is there?
Yeah.
I'll miss that one out then, sorry.
It's Stephen King's. It's apparently doesn't get they say it is very made for TV.
Right.
But like made for TV in the 90s, made for TV.
Right.
But it's Stephen King who wrote the
was it Tommy Not a Standard?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I saw some of the stills today and I was like, oh, questionable. But apparently the story is true adaptation to the book is what you will get. So Kubrick asked King, this is where their two rivalries come in and why they didn't like each other. Stephen King has gone on record though to say that he does appreciate the work now.
Yeah.
It's taken him a long time, but he's getting there. But originally Kubrick asked King for the original screenplay and he wrote it and he went, that shit, I'm not using that. And it was literally as close to the book as he possibly get. King now has a clause in because of that treatment that he got from him that he has to have first crack of the screenplay if you're going to do any adaptation of his work. But if you work with him, he will not hold it against you if you don't use his original screenplay.
Yeah, but on the other side of things, like what I read, because I did a bit of reading about Stephen King. Do you know he does dollar stories? Which is he'll do short
royalty.
Yep, he'll do short stories for university students who are studying film and wanting to make movies. So he'll sell them a story for $1. He calls them like like dollar babies and stuff like that. So people can go out and make a Stephen King movie at university or college, and use him as a credit and to help them go forward and stuff.
Oh, he's been doing that for years. The dollar royalty scheme. I love it. I think it's such a lovely idea. But that's it. He's all about creativity. But yeah, there's already a Shining TV show out there.
I didn't know. But again, I wouldn't be sad if it was like a modern take. Now, just coming back to the casting of Jack. There's one of the things I wanted to ask you guys. And I know you've mentioned John Voight, but if you were thinking of like someone who you would think would be like, say, around at that time, so I think late 70s, early 80s, who would you think would be an interesting take? And I'll start it off because if you think of him from the 80s, you would think, oh, shut up, nothing. But he did play a serial killer really well, and I think it'd be quite interesting. Kevin Costner. Just because he is like the most wholesome person ever. And when you see him flip in Mr. Deeds as a serial killer, he's absolutely terrifying.
But also, he kind of like description-wise of Jack to Jack, not the same person at all. Jack's taller. He's a tall man. He's a built man. He's not Jack Nicholson, basically. Oh gosh, okay.
So I've been thinking about this all day because I've got a few. If you want help, the other one I thought would be quite interesting, Robin Williams.
He was considered.
Really?
How spooky is that? He was considered. He was on the studio shortlist. But because of Mork and Mindy, they were like, audiences are not going to buy it. This is the problem with it. Robin Williams' name gets put up for all these major movies. And because of Mork and Mindy, it's kind of like a stigma to him because he can't break away from comedy. This is why it took him years to be able to do serious films, but he was on a short list for this one. That's pretty cool. Okay.
What about you, Kelly? Yeah. Let's see if Kelly's got one.
Well, it's weird. You've been talking about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. And I was
thinking of DeVito.
No,
I was.
I was thinking Chucky, Brad Dourif.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah, I like that.
Because do you know what? He's got that, sort of
unhinged
everyday man, kind of downtrodden by the world sort of thing. I think he would go into the caretaking role, and then you would see that descent into madness.
That's really good.
If you saw him in Lord of the Rings as well, he was really good. Like as Wormtail or something, wasn't he? Or Wormtail. But yeah, like Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif. Is that right? Have I seen it right?
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Sorry, I've just typed a list of 80s actors. Mr. T.
Oh, pity the fool that doesn't go to the Overlook Hotel.
There's a name that's just popped up. Who was on the short list for Wendy, Jessica Lange.
Oh, that would have been a strong woman. Yeah.
That's Wendy from the Books is Jessica Lange.
I don't think Jack Torrance would even dare swing a axe at Jessica
Lange.
Because she'd swing the fucker back.
I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah. I'd have been scared of that, to be fair. She would be more scary than Jack.
And I don't think Kubrick would have gotten away with half the shit.
Oh, shit, no.
Half the shit. And that's probably why she wasn't picked. Shelley was quite a broken person before The Shining. Jess... I don't know. You've picked some really good. That Brad Dourif one was brilliant. That's such a good one.
Yeah, because I think he's very underrated as well. Because people just stigma out him as like, oh, he's like a horror actor and stuff like that. But no, his performances and anything he does, it's great. Even like his little performance in Urban Legend was a great little cameo. But yeah.
Oh, when he's started, he's
doing the stutter and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, yeah.
Oh, he's so good. Yeah, but One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest kind of give me a bit of an eye opener to him because I've only ever seen him in Lord of the Rings, and I know him as the voice of Chucky, and then I see him in this, and it's like, oh shit, fuck, you actually can act. Like that is I knew you could act, but you can act. You're acting up against Christopher Lloyd, Danny DeVito, Jack Nicholson. There's some fucking names in here. And he was really above and beyond everyone in that room. That's such a good one. The Robin Williams one, I think we've lost so many opportunities with that man to see his full and utter range. Because there's so much more to him.
Yeah, because if you go back to I know the big movies, but Good Morning Vietnam and stuff like that. That's
Good Will Hunting.
But it's proper Robin Williams performances, not everyone always says, oh, I love Mrs. Doubtfire, which again is a brilliant movie, but if you want to see Robin Williams do Robin Williams, not just a stand-up, say even Eaton Gilbert Grape, is that the right one? I'm sure is it World According to Garp?
World According to Garp is Robin Williams. What Eaton's Gilbert Grape is
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Depp in Johnny Depp. Yeah.
No. But even then, the performances, he was the king of the 80s when it comes to certain movies like Robin Williams. And how
we've not done an episode on him, I don't know. I don't want to do Mrs. Doubtfire. That's for fucking sure. I'm not a big fan of that.
Keep an eye tuned, ladies and gentlemen.
The Robin Williams series coming in 2025.
Could be coming sooner. We did talk about doing actors and actresses in November, so.
Did we?
Yeah, because we talked about John Candy Goldie Hawn.
Oh, we did. We did. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Coming in November then. Sooner than you think. Also,
no, sorry.
Also, just another quick fact that's like sitting in my brain because I'm literally staring right at it. The picture, the 1920 picture that is on your front screen right now for YouTube people, for audio listeners, sorry, it's the end picture where Jack is placed in the front. Real picture from the 1920s. And Jack Nicholson is superimposed in the front of it. Every person in there is from the 1920s. The pose, this is, you can tell what kind of videos I've been watching today.
I know this.
The devil.
Right.
He is posed.
Baphomet.
He is posed in the same way as Baphomet.
Right.
So Jack is not just one with the hotel, he's the actual devil.
Right, okay.
One with the horns.
Metal! Yes. But yeah, there's a genuine 1920s picture with just Jack Nicholson superimposed in the front of it being the devil.
But yeah, like if you talk about the imagery,
I love Paul. Yeah.
But this is, like, say if you talk about all the imagery and stuff like that's in there, I love like the quick cuts that you get, like when the two twins are standing there and Danny's in front of them and the quick cuts away and then you just see them in bits on the floor, but you only see them for like a split second. It's so well done. And even like say the scene I think lingers a little bit too long is when Shelley's getting introduced, Wendy's getting introduced to the ghosts of the hotel, and she's kind of running through and all the ghosts there, and she goes upstairs and there's a guy in a furry outfit giving a blowjob to a handyman, and it's kind of like, all right, and it just lingers on the look a bit longer than you need to. It like you get the impression you know what's happening. I could have moved on a lot quicker.
Oh shit, sorry, Binks. Is that in so this is what confused me because room 217, I don't know how many times I text Paul during while I was reading this going, 217 can get in the fucking bin. I'm fucking sick. But it's not 217 in here, it's 237.
Yes.
Why did they change it? Like, I don't understand why you would, because 217 it's such a number in the book, like you when the idea of going to room 217 comes up, like it does send a shiver because you don't know what you're going to get in there. But I never understood why he changed it to 237.
No, I don't know, because I don't know, is it like, because I can understand if they try to be like as you said, a number of the devil or number of the beast type thing.
Well, the number 45 is the number that, again, you can tell what kind of videos I've watched today. Conspiracy London. The number 45 plays heavily in this movie. Everything can be brought back to 45, which apparently I don't even want to get into it. Just you can go and I don't want to say the words. You can go and Google it. You can go and research it yourself. The number 45 in The Shining,
right?
Because there's a lot of attachments to this, to certain things in history that I just don't think are necessary to talk about on a Sunday evening.
We're talking about a horror movie where people kill kids, god damn it.
And let's just keep that. Let's not make it so deep.
No, like as you said, there's a lot of symbolism and stuff, and one of the things that kind of threw me became quite iconic from this movie, and like I've used as the background, is the fucking carpet. Like literally the carpet is fucking everywhere. And it's so 70s it actually hurts.
It's
impeccable.
Yeah.
It's lovely.
I love it. It's the one rug that I am willing to pay money for in here. It won't go with anything at the minute, but nothing really does in this room. I love that print so much. It's so iconic. How did they do it? How did they get it's just a print? It's just a print of some fucking god awful colours, but it's so fucking iconic.
And
it's the epitome of 80s, though, isn't it? It's like cigarette smoke. It's just like it's manky. But it's the way it's imprinted. It just reminds me of it always reminds me of bees, which is quite funny because like in the book it's a wasp's nest. It's like the hives and stuff. And in the book they do mention the carpet having like a pattern that is a bit weird, but it's blue.
Right, all right.
But I do think Kubrick was just like, I'm going to pick some of these symbols out here and I'm going to put my twist on it. And he did fucking wonders with that carpet.
But if you put a blue in there, it would have been a calming effect. Like every time we saw it, like we would have been.
And that's edgy.
Yeah. This makes you, again, it's either going to fire you up or make you feel like it stirs up emotions in you, which you don't expect to get from a carpet. And that...
No, that's true. It's so true. that needs to be clipped. That is such a great
carpet. Really upsets me.
You get emotion. You get these emotions that you'll never think you'll get from a carpet. Jack's suit at the beginning.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
The blue suit. This is the type of things I've watched today. The maze runs all the way through it.
Yeah. Right.
Yes, it does.
The maze is the pattern of the suit and leads into the tie.
Can I kick off about the maze a little bit?
Yes, do it.
Go on first.
Right.
Oh,
so I know I'm getting me drinking. Well, let's go. Come on.
So anyone who, like in the northeast, who's got a garden, who doesn't like doing gardening, knows how fucking quick a bush will grow. Like this, and the size of that fucking maze, and there's only...
I don't know if I should answer that.
And like I say, there's only Jack and his wife there, and Danny.
Yeah.
They've been there for, as you said, a couple of months. Who the fuck is keeping that maze? Because I'm sorry, that's the tiniest bush I have seen in my life.
Oh, so many things to say. Not going to. It's Jack.
Yeah.
It has to be Jack. Do the simple answer. Because, like I said,
so if Jack's 10 to it, why does he not fucking know how to get round the maze when he's running after Danny?
Because he's really drunk.
He's drunk on the hotel. He's just drunk on devil juice.
Devil juice.
Is Charlie Sheen involved in this now? Tiger's blood and shit.
Oh my god, tiger blood and everything. Just imagine if tiger blood was mixed in on all this. Jesus.
Fucking winning.
Winning. No,
because that would have been one of his jobs, wouldn't it?
Saying that though, another great cast for Jack, Charlie Sheen. 80s, just saying. That would have been interesting, seeing his descent in the man.
Interesting.
It would have been interesting to see Charlie Sheen play it straight and not go into
top hot shots or something like that.
Hot shots, or not go into the Charlie Sheen that we knew him from back then.
No. Back then it was Wall Street. So. And Wall Street and Platoon was these two big ones back then.
So he can play things straight. I've never seen Platoon. I've never seen Wall Street. To be honest, I could have seen Martin Sheen.
Oh no, good shout actually. Michael Douglas.
Michael Douglas. Oh my god, I don't give that man enough credit. Like he is such a fucking superb actor.
Sorry,
Martin Sheen. I'm gonna do a Goonies reference.
Oh, go for it.
It's Martin Sheen. It's President Kennedy, you idiot. It's one of my favourite lines. Martin Sheen.
But yes, back to that maze. So Jack's keeping the maze, and it's like apparently
he has to. It's his job.
But apparently, it takes an hour to walk around and find yourself out. One person by himself isn't keeping that maze as tight as he is. I would have chopped the fucker down.
Well, yeah. If it was us, who was watching the Overlook Hotel, there wouldn't be a maze because have you seen my garden? I don't like gardening. I fucking hate it. So that thing's getting overgrown and just lost in the fucking wilderness. In the book, though, it's not a maze; it's hedges, and they do spend a lot of time talking about these fucking hedges and him having to keep the upkeep of them because that's until the snow hits them. It's important to keep the upkeep of and it honestly they drill it into you all the way through the book. I mean, there's a point to it. It does. There is a point, but so I'm guessing it's the same with the maze. Like that was, but it was one really tidy maze. That was some Harry Potter shit, that.
Yeah, and then Danny being so clever and realised, wait there, he's following me footsteps. I'll backtrack in the most awkward and slow-paced backtracks in the world. I was like, oh, Danny, you're going to die, son.
I always think, because like Danny's 6
Yeah.
in this,
Yeah.
right? And I just think, well, that's the age of my son Huxley. And the way I was just like, would he have the capacity to think, oh, wait, if I turn around and no, he'd be running through screaming like me dad's chasing us with a big fuck off axe. You know what I mean? Who would, it's just a 6-year-old child would not have the impetus.
Well, yeah, about a 41-year-old woman wouldn't have the fucking intelligence to like go, oh, hang on a minute. If I just walk differently, maybe he'll not find me.
So he's the same age as Danny. So are we going to say, has he got the shin in him? Has he? So has he got
the shin?
You get it.
Also, mind blow on the fucking Tony reveal in the book, by the way. Can I talk about it? Am I allowed to?
Go for it.
Go for it.
I lost my shit. I'm not going to lie. I really lost my shit. I had no fucking idea that was Danny. It was the way it was just, it was a whole fucking chapter dedicated to it, and Danny was lost in the place where he felt the most safest, and that was inside his own mind, away from everything. And then Tony appears to him, and Tony's like, you need to snap out of this. Your mum's in danger. Like, she's just been fucking hit with a mallet, because it wasn't an axe, it was a mallet in the book.
A rogue mallet.
Rogue mallet. And he's like, you need to get out. You need to go on. But Tony, why are you here? I don't see you. I just hear you. And he can't understand. And he's like looking at him, and he's like, why do you look so familiar? Why do you look so familiar? And it's like, because your name is Danny Anthony Torrance.
Yeah.
You dumbass kid.
I literally nearly flung the book and went, are you fucking kidding us? Are you fucking trying to tell me Tony's Danny? Like, I didn't know that. Is that even mentioned in Dr. Sleep? Did I like miss something?
It's not mentioned, I don't think, no.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I don't think Tony's ever brought up in Dr. Sleep.
Yeah, Tony is the adult version of Danny.
A little bit in the book. A little bit in the book. So I'm in the book now.
Right.
Tony goes to Abra.
Right.
In the book, yeah.
Right.
There's like a bit of a link there.
I just like that.
I love it.
But yeah, like I say, when we talk about Dr. Sleep in a few weeks, I'm looking forward to that one, just to get into like the little closet or the little tin that he puts things in. Oh yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait for that episode. I think I'm probably yeah. Fucking rolls the hat. Honestly, I want to grow up and be her. Actually, can I be her? I'm 41. I can make those kind of decisions, can't I? I'm allowed to now.
Did I ask Anthony if he fancies a sandwich and see what his response is?
How would you feel if I just start rocking a hat? Just call me Sam the Hat.
Sam the
Hat. I'm really looking forward to reading the book as well. And this is why I wanted to read The Shine. I could have quite easily gone into, I could have gotten a synopsis online on The Shine and just to find out everything. But I wanted to know Danny because I wanted to know Danny ready for Dr. Sleep. And I really want to read because we'll get into this next time we're here. But certain parts of Dr. Sleep that annoy me. So I'm looking forward to that.
People need to read The Shining because, I mean, I love both the film and the book, but for totally different reasons. I mean, I like The Shining, the film, because it is a psychological horror with absolute supreme cinematography, imagery, symbolism, absolutely fantastic. Whereas the book I see as a separate entity. And it's just like, rather than a horror, I will call it a domestic drama, to be honest, because you get like
it's something of the human condition. It's very it's going so deep into somebody, especially like on the addiction side of things, because he really takes you on that journey of how he withholds himself, how he's trying to do better, and how is so. It's not easy for Jack to let go and to give in. It's a journey for him. And Wendy as well, she is such a strong, like, she admits she is very much like her mother. And her mother is how Shelley Duvall is described in that's her mother. That's not her. And she was like, I'll try to stay away so far from her that I've become something so far out of reach. They also go into Jack's family as well, and how his dad was his dad was a nasty bastard.
The imagery of the abuse at the table, the mom, the gravy on the mom's glasses and the smashed glasses, and it was just like,
it's just such a book on human conditions that it's very, it can almost become quite personal. So I do get the whole difference between book to film, but I'm not mad that Kubrick went down the road that he did with the movie.
I like that road. It was a good road.
I
liked it.
The way I would describe the movie, and again, this is going to sound, if I'm going to put it in the most simplest terms, it's 2.5 hours of waiting for a kettle to boil. Because it's just like, if you...
That is so fucking annoying.
But that's the thing. You're waiting for everything to kind of happen, because you're waiting for stirs and you see little bubbles, but it doesn't really give you much, and it goes back, it calms down a little. It's like if you kept it on simmer and you simmered it for 2.5 hours to get to the boiling point, and when it boils, it's exciting, it's explosive, it's action packed, but you've got to go through the whole, basically the process of getting to that boiling point. And it is a journey to do it, and you're not mad when you get there, because the effect at the end, like the last 15 minutes, is cinema history. It's it's magic. And the only thing, again, if I'm going to be overcritical, the only thing that spoils it is when you get the ending and you've got Jack sitting there frozen with the most goofiest look on his face, and it just kills the whole vibe or everything that you've been through for the last 2.5. It's like, what the fuck?
It's the biggest fucking meme of the internet, is that look on his face. I actually prefer the book's ending to the Overlook.
Yes.
Because it shows that Jack was clearly in there somewhere, because he did the boiler every day without fail. And this one day when it goes tits up, he didn't do it, and that's where. And it's like somewhere, I feel like somewhere in there, Jack was in there and had that as a safety net.
I do.
If things went wrong.
I do think they hinted or wanted to go down that route for the movie, and something might have changed, because at the beginning, the foreshadows about the boiler. They say tenant in the boiler, making sure everything's on tip. So it's kind of like, right, because as I said, when I read the book, I was like, we'll get there. And the mention in the film, you think, oh shit, there's going to be an explosion, the boiler's going to go. And it never kind of happens. So it's either a director choice or a studio choice that went, right, that's not how we're ending it. But I can't imagine Kubrick letting the studio dictate how he ends his movie, which way he is. He'd rather not make the movie than let someone tell him how to end it.
I imagine he would pack his shit up and go home.
Yeah. So I think it's his choice. He's probably thought, when reading the script out, he's put a fail-safe in there. So if he wanted to go with the book ending, but he's went, no, going to give it like an ending that he thinks Jack kind of deserved. But it's just the face. He could have had him frozen, looking peaceful or in pain, but he just looked goofy. Like he just jizzed. That was his cum face.
It was like a teeth chattering. I am an Ice Cube man, you know.
I swear you can hear him. I swear you can
hear him go like that noise. But that could just be in my own head. Like
possibly, it's like the visual aspects. But I know normally when we do these type of films, I know, like, I don't know if you've got anything more you want to say about the movie, but normally we do like a review, review. But I don't think we can do this with this movie, because it's not a movie where I say, oh, it's a 4 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5 or anything like that.
I think we're all on the same page with this.
It's an experience that I think every movie lover needs to go through to basically say I've watched The Shining. You might not enjoy it, but you can appreciate and love aspects. Like, I enjoyed it more this time watching it, but I didn't get it when I was younger. But I think that's because I wanted it to be this really dark, scary horror film that everyone keeps on telling us.
Yeah.
But it's not. But when we're adults and you watch them back and you see the mental torture and the mental thing, it's scarier now than I would be in a teenager, because when I'm a teenager, I'm not thinking about life in those type of realms.
No, we're looking at colours and shapes and movement, and you know, if there's any fucking blood there, then bonus. But my mother-in-law will always, anytime The Shining gets brought up, The Shining and The Exorcist, She fucking hates them.
Mhm.
And it's because of she watched The Shining at home when it was on telly in the midst of the 80s, and she had to bring her daughter, who was my sister-in-law, downstairs as a baby to keep her company because she
Mhm.
was that scared of it.
Mhm.
She walked out of the cinema of The Exorcist. She always tells us that every time she sees me trainers. She's like, walked out of that.
Thing is, I think
Yeah.
both films are like kind of human condition films. You know,
Mm.
The
Yes.
Exorcist, the setting is, you know, it's in a home. Like
Mhm.
it's someone's home, and a girl in a bedroom strapped to a bed, and she's possessed. You know, that's just like it's too fucking close to home, quite literally.
Yeah.
And this idea of kind of, you know, it's really like an idyllic sort of place, the Overlook, and to have that all that, you know, for a winter, and it's just like, you know, getting back into writing and all this sort of stuff. I mean, cause Jack Torrance like, oh god, it's an amazing thing, and this idea that cabin fever is fucking real. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, I had cabin fever when freaking the COVID pandemic, you know, and I was stuck in the house with like me
I created
kid and
this
me
motherfucking
son,
thing,
you know
so
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah, look what came out of that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's just
Mm.
like, you know,
Yeah.
and I think, yeah, like you say, when you grow up and you get grey around the edges, you know, like
Mm.
perspectives change and things that scare you are
Mm.
different, you know, as
Mhm.
opposed to someone like wielding, you know, like like
Big
massive
hatchet
knife. You
around.
know,
Yeah.
Mm.
I actually find the rock mallet scarier in the book
Oh.
because that will fucking hurt you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It won't
descriptions of
kill you quickly. It'll
no, and
fucking
that was
maim
the
the
point.
shit out of you.
But
Mhm.
that was the whole point, was that yeah, and especially the fact. Sorry, I know. Read the book. Read the book. I'm not going to go into it. Read the fucking book. I do have one thing to say on the actual hotel itself. It's called the Stanley Hotel. If you want to go and you can actually go and stay in it. It's where the inspiration for the book came from, and when he stayed in room 217. But yeah, Stanley Hotel, and also this movie was shot in England.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I knew. I
And
knew.
you know,
I didn't know
and
all of
you
it,
know
but I
what
knew
it,
some of it was. Yeah.
obviously there's parts of it which are the Colorado mountains, can't get
Yeah.
away from that, and certain outside shots, but inside it's all England. And what was it used for afterwards? Does anyone know?
Porn.
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh well, same thing.
Ah,
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the movie that took over after The Shining.
All right. Cool.
There you go. That's the last thing I know. Everything's at my brain now.
Totally.
I'm good.
But yeah, no, and again, as I reiterated, and just to go off as well, because I know Kelly was saying about the pandemic and stuff, and just makes you think, like, what happened during the pandemic, going through like that stir craziness, and as I said, we created what we have, and the friendships and everything that's kind of come from that as well, which is again
It's crazy,
mesmerizing. Like again, recapturing friendships, creating new friendships, losing friendships. A lot of the stuff has come away, but I wouldn't change it for the world. But it's been like
no, it's so weird. I mean, Kelly, I don't understand how me and Kelly don't know each other because of the amount of friends that we have in common. But I met Kelly through here, and it's quite scary that we've not met you before.
Kelly's met me many times, but keeps forgetting us, so it's fine. So she'll forget us again another 5 years again. Who's that Paul?
I'm sure she did that at the meetup. She was like, "Who are you?" On the first one where the Stevie Nicks came out.
It's fine. It's fine.
the memory has always been shot, man. Seriously.
As I said, she is the purest form. She is the best of us, and we will never change. But yes, so thank you for tonight. We have Kelly returning next week. We've got Sonia back 29th of September. We are doing Doctor Sleep, our double bill, our double feature, so that'll be quite fun. Then we go into the spooky season, where we start that with The Craft. So we go feminism and witches and stuff. And then we get Kelly returning for Beetlejuice. So you'll be sick of Beetlejuice by now. But yeah, so we've got Beetlejuice.
Sorry, guys.
So we get a different take, different viewpoint.
Different people.
We've got Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, coming soon. Midnight Mass. We'll be
Oh
delving
God, be
in.
prepared for fucking tears on that one. I'm just pre-warning you now. Bring your tissues. It's gonna get emotional.
We're going to do a film, a Halloween special where we talk about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. So, and then
I'm going to keep going. Happy, happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. There we go.
And for the
Silver Shamrock.
And I think for the first time that we've started November, which we should have done like many moons ago, we're going to do V for Vendetta. So
we've not done V for Vendetta yet.
No, so that'll be an interesting one for start of November. And as me and Sammy go off air, we will be planning the rest of the stuff and things to come looking for. So again, we are hoping to do a live, so in person Q&A session where in the Globe Newcastle on the 14th of November. We'll hopefully have a few nerds on stage where you can ask us questions. But we can only get it done if people buy tickets. Yes. So we need people to buy them early bird tickets. Get a message to Jess. Check out the Facebook page for a link. And again, I think Jess is doing it all through PayPal. So don't put friends and family. Do it as goods and services so we can keep a record and do it all up proper. But because the venue is costing Jess money for us to host, so for us to go ahead, we do need to sell a number of tickets. So please do that. But then hopefully sometime in November, which date to be confirmed, we will be doing another charity stream, which the idea, which again we're starting with, is basically 12 hours. We're not doing 24 hours. That shit can fuck off. But one of the ideas that we are hoping to do is 12 hours, 12 movies. So we'll be reviewing 12 movies in them 12 hours. If you want to join us in reviewing any of the movies that we do choose, you can donate and you can join us on stream and talk about a movie as well. So again,
I think we're in agreement of the charity this year.
Sophie Lancaster, I think, was said.
Yes. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure I've got my pen. The Sophie Lancaster Foundation. So all money will be going towards Sophie Lancaster Foundation. We met them, well, not them, but a part of their organisation at a horror convention this year. Lovely people, great cause. Will affect a lot of my friends and a lot of people within the group. So Sophie Foundation. I always wear the bracelet, by the way. It's always there.
Certainly. So we'll be getting all our plans. So I know we've had 2 weeks off. It doesn't feel like I've had any time off. You've absolute bastards.
It really doesn't, but we're back. We're back on the Sunday.
Monday. So this will be.
Yeah, I'm just getting my bearings right. I haven't recorded it yet.
So People Under the Stairs.
The People Under the Stairs, as my Google search kept correcting me today. Kelly, the minute I don't know if I remember saying it on live or saying it afterwards, and I was like, fuck, we've just done Kelly's 2 favourite films of all time. We're doing Beetlejuice and then The People Under the Stairs. I feel like we're just catering for Kelly now. But yeah, my Google search kept reminding me today it's The People Under the Stairs.
Yes.
Learned some things about Wes Craven today that I didn't know about. So I haven't recorded it yet. Or have I?
No, it's Thursday. So you haven't recorded it yet, but as this goes out, because we're not live.
I have.
Because Sammy's away getting drunk and having fun at a cabin. So hopefully, hopefully not having the Evil Dead experience. But yes.
Oh no, I really hope we do. That'd be fun. My mum would freak the fuck out. Yeah, I'm away this weekend, so sorry guys, we're not live. But we will be live next week for Dr. Sleep. Yeah, People Under the Stairs. Monday.
Stuff's going on.
I don't know what else is.
I don't care.
Yeah, if you can, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. All audio for every episode that we do. Podcast on Miser goes out on a Tuesday. Why? Because I do them. And give us some love on audio if you are listening. Let us know you're listening. Give us hearts. What else do they do? Likes, comments. Leave a comment down below. Tell us how you feel about The Shining. Tell us if you like the book or if you never read the book. Are you going to read the book? Let us know. We want to know. We want to know.
Certainly. But yes, same bat time, same bat channel.
Stay nerdy, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Red ram, red ram,
Red
ram.
ram.
It means murder, guys. Spoilers. Bye.
Bye.